Some people say every river knows its ocean. Even when it winds through desert or rock, some part of it already feels the pull of salt and tide. You can imagine that, can't you? The sense of being called forward by something that was always waiting ahead. Now, it's funny how people try to name each bend. This one's intuition, that one's logic, the next spirituality. But water, it doesn't divide itself. Only the map makers do. And when they argue which part is sacred or ordinary, the river keeps flowing anyway. And you may notice a time when you tried to force a bend to straighten, and life curved it back for you. That's feedback, not punishment. Every loop you resist returns as a lesson in flow. So imagine a figure who tends the river gates. Sometimes they open the sluice too wide and they flood the valley. Sometimes they keep it shut and the fish suffocate. Through practice, the keeper learns rhythm. Open, close, open. That's what channeling feels like when done cleanly. Precision disguised as ease. Too much force and the message blurs. Too much control and nothing moves. Somewhere in between is grace, where the signal hums clear because you stop trying to own it. When that happens, intuition becomes ordinary. You catch signals the way skin catches sunlight, without effort. And people call it a gift. But you know, it's hygiene, daily tuning, steady attention, a willingness to listen before labelling. Every belief you hold is like a pebble in the riverbed. Some steady the flow, others snag debris. You can learn a lot by watching what clogs. When judgment builds up, of yourself, of others, water slows, and eddies of confusion appear. Clean a single stone, the current clears from miles downstream. That's healing code in action, a small shift local to you, rippling outward into the shared field. If you keep tending your stretch of river, here's what tends to happen. The water clarifies. Ideas and coincidences steady to meet you halfway. People sense your current and drift closer. Collaboration feels easy. The work that once required effort begins to unfold itself through you. And if you ignore the tending, well, silt returns. Nothing catastrophic. Just heavier paddling, muddier choices, a quiet ache that whispers, you could have flowed more easily. At some point, you may realize the river and the ocean, they aren't separate at all. The difference was only scale. Small water, naming itself small. And as you feel that recognition, you might also notice trying to activate a gift. It's like trying to teach water to wet itself. It already does. The real activation is permission. To stop pretending you're dry. Your body, it's a 60+% fluid. Electrical impulses travel faster through hydration and rhythm. Coherence, steady breathing, relaxed focus. It improves signal transmission across neurons and heart tissue. That's the physiology behind frequency upgrade. It's not magic, it's maintenance. Practice coherence, and the organism interprets subtle data more clearly. Ignore it. The noise increases until clarity forces you to rest. Karma isn't a judge, it's hydraulics. Block the flow and the pressure builds. Release it and equilibrium returns. Each honest conversation, each forgiveness, each breath of presence is a value tuned the right way. So tonight, or some near night, when you sit quietly and hear the hum in your ears, you might wonder, is that blood? Is that memory? Or is that the whole river remembering its sea? And as you wonder, you may discover wondering is enough to align you. Because every time you imagine flow, something inside begins to move accordingly. Spiritual lessons, they're not new information. They're reminders of natural motion. Channeling is listening. Intuition is biology cooperating with mystery. Gifts activate through use, not possession. Everything interrelates because separation, it was a labeling error. Acting on these truths brings coherence. Ignoring them invites pressure until you remember again. And you can let these images drift wherever they wish in you. Nothing to force, nothing to resist. Later, when you find yourself acting with quite certainty, you'll realize the story did its work by reminding you of what you already knew.